Hi, I'm Shannon Grissom, and I'm here to answer any questions that you have about the Sock Monkey Oracle. I'm really excited about the deck. I've been getting amazing feedback from people. It's really heartwarming to know that it's already starting to make people happy, make people feel good. So what I wanted to do is talk a little bit, hello Cheryl, talk a little bit about the deck, how it came about, and how to use it, and then we can just go into any questions that you might have. So I'm still trying to get used to doing Instagram Live, so if you type in a question and I don't see it, I'm going to type this here. If you type in a question and I don't see it, type it in again. It would be great if I had peeps to do this, but I'm working it out. So basically, Oracle card decks are used for insight, reflection, meditation, however you want to tune into yourself. They're just awesome. And this particular deck came about years ago. I started painting sock monkey paintings, and I did them as a tribute to my mom after she passed. And what happened is, hello Urban Glued, what happened is that when I started painting the first one, more kept coming, and I just knew that there was something special here. And I always had an Oracle card deck in mind, but I really didn't get off my rear and start creating the deck till 20 years after and 46 paintings later. And what happened was, during the pandemic, I had a one-woman show, actually two of them, and right when the shutdown happened. And so I figured that was a sign I needed to do something different. So I thought, what was on my bucket list that I really wanted to do? And that is create the Oracle card deck. So that's what I did. And I'm just thrilled with the reception that it's getting. So when you first get your deck, a good thing to do is to charge your deck. So basically you just want to hold it to your heart, infuse it with love, and make it your own. And also along the way, if you've been using it for a while, you'll find that you'll kind of need to clear it. And some people have elaborate rituals for clearing Oracle card decks. And I've heard all kinds of ways to clear the deck, from smudging it with sage, and some people even thump it, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to thump this deck. And it doesn't matter what method you use to clear the deck, but periodically it's going to need some clearing. So it's your intention that you clear it does the trick. Typically I just hold it to my heart again and just say, okay, all the bad jujus go away. It's that simple. So if you've never had an Oracle card deck before, I want to just explain the way this one is structured. Everything is positive. It all comes from a place of love. So you'll pull a card and you'll get a main message that's going to be the body, a few paragraphs of what you would like to hear, and then there'll be symbolic frolics, which are keywords to meditate on, and then an affirmation. So I'm seeing you guys as you're coming up, and I just want to say hello. So let's talk about how to phrase a question. So it's better not to ask yes or no questions. It's better to say, let me think of something right now. Like, okay, what is the most likely outcome if I decide to take this course of action, that sort of thing. So let's see. I'm gonna do a reading that, instead of just for me, I'm gonna try to keep you guys as an audience in mind and see what do they need to know? What do they need to hear today? So I'm gonna hold it to my heart. All right. I'm tuning into you guys. What do they need to do? What do they need to hear? What's most important to help them? Now you can shuffle them, and it works better once you've used them for a while. Right now, I'm just gonna mix them up and pick a card. Okay, the card today is Speak No Bad Stuff. So what you do is you pull a card, and there's a number on each card. Now you can either look them up alphabetically or check that number. And when you find that in here, you read the corresponding message. For this one, and this one's good for me today too. It says, Mama Monkey made a Saki's always said, if you can't squeal anything good, don't squeal anything at all. Squealing in a gossipy way is a form of focus. What you focus on grows. What do you want to grow in your garden? That's what I thought. If you're having difficulty with someone, try practicing the loving kindness meditation. During this meditation, you wish them good health, happiness, and peace. And you repeat the meditation until you really mean it, because I know sometimes it takes me several times. And your whole world will shift in a positive direction. Squeal and speak no bad stuff, not to yourself, not to others. Now the symbolic frolic here is loving kindness focus, consideration, positivity. And the affirmation is, I love that I speak lovingly. And you know, where this works for me is that I was I wasn't speaking bad necessarily, how it relates to me. I wasn't speaking bad necessarily about somebody else, but I was beating myself up over a situation that I didn't handle as well as I could. So this is a good reminder for me to stop, back up, and try something different. Think of the positive things rather than focus on what I didn't do. So that's an example of a single card reading. So I'm going to try and click on the questions and see if some have come up. No questions yet. Okay. The funny thing is I've got my phone hooked up to a mic stand with a rubber band, and the rubber band was in the wrong way, but I got that sorted out now. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is try a 3-card spread, and this is good for past, present, and future considerations. So in this case, I'm going to shuffle. I'll think about my question. What will my question be today? I'm really trying to decide what direction I should take with some creative projects. And I've got this huge list of possible avenues and things that I could work on. And so let's say I just pick one and see what's a likely outcome. So I had a flash of insight about a children's book, and I'm going to just, with some new monkey characters, and I'm going to shuffle this and see what comes up. Oh yeah. I'm a little bit excited about the reading. So the interesting thing is I must be doing this a lot because in the past there was speak no bad stuff. So that's focusing on what I'm saying to myself. What are my thoughts regarding this new project? So I might not have been as positive as I could have been there. The present is nostalgia. And nostalgia is all about looking back with love. And that fits in perfectly with the new book that I want to write because it is more about sock monkeys, and that all relates to my mom and a happy past. And why I was really excited about the last card was it's abundance. So that's a good positive thing. That means that the project's going to be successful spiritually, financially, in every way possible. Another interesting thing, if you can see the painting above me, let me just tilt it up a little bit. You can kind of get a sense of scale of just how big these paintings are. They're although the little cards are tiny, the paintings themselves are pretty huge. Okay, I'm going to check again for questions. No questions yet. Okay. Now, every once in a while you'll shuffle these and one will just like fly up and you'll say, okay, what's the deal with that? Well, if you have cards that fall on the floor or fly up at you or just separate themselves from the deck, then you know that that is a really strong message to pay attention to that card. So just be mindful of that. Another thing when you're doing readings, okay, here's something I'm guilty of. Let's say I have a question and I'm not really liking the answer that I got. I mean, it's calling my stuff, but I'm maybe not accepting that. So I ask again, and then I ask again, so usually you're going to get the same or similar theme answer. But after about the third or fourth time of asking the same question over and over and over again, it gets to the point where you need to stop and trust that you're getting guidance. And then that way you will definitely clear it and get a clear answer. But if you keep asking the same question over and over and over, expecting different results, it's not going to happen. So have faith that what you're getting is your answer for the day. It really is. Okay, let me move over to this. The other cool thing about this deck is when you get the deck, and you look in the guidebook, there are several different types of spreads you can do. But I would also encourage you to make up whatever you would like to do. Whatever way you would like to play. I know a hairdresser who pulls one for each of her clients, and just as a message for the day. And I heard a massage therapist was doing the same sort of thing. And I thought, how cool is that? And so if you end up, I had a cousin said they took it to a family gathering and everybody was pulling a card and making a game out of it. So just do whatever feels good to you. There are no rules other than it's something to bring joy, love, and insight into your life. Okay, so I'm checking to see. I'm shuffling again. Okay, I'm going to check and see if there are any more questions. Okay, either I'm doing this wrong or nobody has any questions so far. Alrighty. One spread I like to do, this is in the book too, is when you have two different scenarios and you're trying to decide which ones would be best. So you write, let's say, all right, let's say I want to move to the coast. So I would put that on move residence. So I'd put that on a little piece of paper and crumple it up. And then, or should I move to the mountains? I'd put that on a piece of paper and crumple it up. So then you mix them around, kind of like a little shell game. So you don't know what's under each little crumpled up piece of paper. And then you shuffle the cards. And so you pull a card for each little wadded up piece of paper. So I'm just going to say that the mountains is going to be on the left. I will pull that up, and the coast is on the right. And in this case, I got Holiday Spirit, and that was for the mountains. And Rise Again was for the coast. I think it's kind of funny because I came from the San Francisco Bay Area. So Rising Again is about picking yourself back up after after you've had a few falls and giving it another go. And that might be heading toward the coast. That might be my answer there. The holiday spirit is really cool. And that's about, during the holidays, people are extra friendly and jovial and just spilling love. And so that is a reminder on that card to have that spirit all year long. I really like that. I'm waving hello to the new people that joined. Checking again for questions. Okay. I think next time I'll have peeps help me with this. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Okay. So if any of you guys have already purchased the Sock Monkey Oracle deck and you have questions, please send them to me right now. Cheryl asked, so more detailed questions rather than yes or no's. Yeah, it rather, like let's say the one about moving, rather than saying, should I move to the coast? I would rather phrase it as, what's the most likely outcome if I move to the coast? Because then it's going to give you a broader answer. And they're not structured so much as yes or no, because all of the cards are, this is what's going to happen at this point in time. You can change, you've got free will. You can change your life at any moment. So at this particular point in time, this is where it's likely to go. But, you can change that. Does that answer that, Cheryl? Alrighty. Okay. Let's see. What was the other thing I wanted to talk about? I think one of my favorite readings is the messy sock drawer spread. It is just a mess, and there's stuff all over the place, and that's a really involved sorry, gotta turn off notifications. That's a really involved spread for when you really want clarity on a situation. So what I'm doing is I'm developing a course for everyone who has purchased a Sock Monkey Oracle deck, which gives you step-by-step guidance on how to use the deck. And then we'll also, hello Beyond Words, you guys are awesome. So I'm developing a course that will really help you tune in, and will include some of the live here as well, which will have some videos to help you, and there will be places where you can give feedback, and it's just going to be awesome. So it's free to anyone who has bought the deck. So you'll stay tuned for information on that. That should be available at the end of the week. All right. We're going to try one more reading. And I just want to, let's see. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a card. I'm going to ask the Sock Monkey Oracle, what am I missing? What did I not tell these guys that they really would like to hear? All right. Hold it to my heart. Pull one card. This one is baby steps. When you start a project and it's huge and it's overwhelming and there's like a zillion movable parts, this is encouraging you to just take a few baby steps and get started. So I'm going to read this one to you. I'll bet you there's a lot of people out there right now that are starting new ventures. All right, here it goes. Are your dreams so grand that you are feeling completely overwhelmed and frozen at the thought of pursuing them? You don't have to know all the answers to begin. Start anyway. Just do it. Don't let the fear of the unknown keep you from reaching for the stars. Climb that tree and look at the grand view. There are many monkeys. Oh, wow. Okay, so in the middle of this, I'm reading this and I'm about ready to cry. This one's really for you guys. There are many monkeys on the other side of your struggle who need to receive the gift of your dreams' fruition. I'm feeling like this huge resonance with people out there. I'm going to repeat that because it's so important. There are many monkeys on the other side of your struggle who need to receive the gift of your dreams' fruition. Make a plan, start with the big goals, and break them down into small moving parts. Then all you need to do is take baby steps in the direction of your dream, and you'll be on your way. Set boundaries so that you have time to accomplish all that you need to do. Start today. This is so doable. So the symbolic frolics for this card reading it are: your dreams matter, you matter, organization, prioritization, boundaries. Bottom line, go for it. Affirmation: I love that I'm moving in the direction of my dreams. Wow. This one was powerful. I just really feel like this one is meant for all of you out there. I'm going to see if there are any questions. There are no questions. So I'm going to sign off. I want to thank you all for being here, and stay tuned to my Instagram. And if you purchase the Sock Monkey Oracle, you will be able to get the free course that really dives deeper into it. Thanks, you guys. I'll see you next time. I don't know how to hang up.